There we go. Okay, we're back. Sorry about that. I thought we had frozen, and we hadn't frozen. I'm just a big dork. So, okay, so we're going to give this another shot. We got some music that I like. We're just going to hang out. We're going to rock this out. And we're going to do this a little bit more focused than we just tried, and we're going to get through it. It's going to be great. So here we are. We're back to the tabletop. What we're going to do is we're just going to go through these photos one more time, and all we're going to deciding is whether we're going to put it in the shop or whether we're going to bulk it out. So I think this one we're going to bulk out. This is what you call a real photo postcard. I kind of dig that photo. So it's not doesn't have the split back, so that's usually early 1900s. I like this. Somebody will want that because just how old it is. So this guy's cool. Look at him. I think we list this guy. I think he's a keeper. So this is another really old postcard. Not quite as old as the other one, but that guy, what do you call that, a bowler hat or a derby hat? It's pretty neat. Actually, why don't I pull this over here so I'm looking at you guys. And then let's pull that over there. And I think we're in good shape. So yeah, that's pretty cool. That guy's pretty neat looking. I think he's probably more of like a bundle, though, but we might put him together with this guy because they seem like they're in the same series. So we'll make like a little lot here. Actually, and I was mistaken before. I actually haven't gone through these. Okay, so that's Niagara Falls in the background, but I don't think that's the real Niagara Falls. I think that's a background. So, again, not a split back, so this is probably early 1900s. So let's lock this up with those other guys. Oh, these guys must have hung out a lot. Same dudes. So sometimes there's some information on the back. Let's look at the back. So just a bunch of guys' names. The Verdens brothers. These guys outlaws. Early 1900s, they still had outlaws. That might be worth looking up. Do I have my magnifying glass? I probably do. So I'll set. I don't have my magnifying glass right now. I'll set this to the side. I don't know. She's not laughing at me, or maybe she is. So that's. Oh man, look at that kid's intense. Look at that kid's face. Damn. Oh, that's too funny. That's a keeper. That'll go in the shop. There is another category. There is going into the shop because I think somebody else would enjoy the photo. And then there's also like sometimes we restore these and we'll reset. We'll make postcards out of them, and or we'll do prints of some kind. This has some advertising in the background, which is always a big hit. And that's kind of a cool story. I wonder what the deal is there. Oh, I hate stickers. I got a TikTok floating around about me bitching about stickers. Surprised I didn't get like a cease and desist from Thrift Books. This is a really neat photo. I'm not sure how old this is. Oh, my wife went upstairs really fast. That's never great. Oh, let me turn on my lower third. Hey, that's me. So anyway, that is super cool. See, this is the kind of photo that like a bunch of people might want, and like I might make prints out of, like cheap prints, just because tons of people might want this. I'll have to look, but that's a keeper for sure. Just so you guys know, it's not usually like this. I must have got a really good stack, because these are all really excellent photos from a really long time ago, and you can look at like hundreds of photos and buy tons of collections and not get. These are cool. Mr. Arthur Morgan. You guys know that game? Dear brothers and sisters, we arrived at Sheridan. Tell June I said hello. Howdell and the pony. There you go. Totally a keeper. Oh my gosh, this photo is excellent. So another, yeah, like I said, another thing that we'll do, and I'll even pull that up at some point for you guys to check it out. With our shop and all the prints and everything that we got on there. But I'm always on the lookout for something special. That's an oil rig. I wonder if this is like a Depression era. You have, it looks like a field, like farm in the background. It's a little dog in the lower left, like right here. So definitely a keeper. These are great. Old trucks, like, people always want this kind of stuff. I think they do. They want it for multiple reasons. They want it for, people like who restore this stuff will want it for reference. And then, of course, people make collages, or this is like their grandpa's car, or the place here will have relevance. So here's an actual negative. I can get something out later on to kind of look at these a little better. I wonder if you can even see that. We'll look at the negatives later. Oh, this is neat. So people used to do this all the time. I wonder if they still do. They would get out on the side of the road and they would just pose on the side of their car. And I see this all the time, especially in the 50s. This may not be too much older than that. So but that's a keeper. Anything with an old car in it is a keeper. Somebody wants it. I wonder if that's his older brother or something. Pretty neat. Pretty neat. Oh, look at that. 1930s, you think? Maybe? Late 1920s? Again, anything with a car is a keeper. Okay, I remember where these came from. This is from a Japan base. And I want to say it wasn't... it was... right after World War II, not during, but like 1948. And I think that's when we actually occupied Japan. This is from California. I remember the back here. So these are all keepers. (1942). That's cool because it's 1942. The crazy thing is like you could pull this, like change his uniform up a little bit, and I bet you that cannon's still even right where it was right then. Good looking gun, isn't it? There you go. That's awesome. That's freaking great. That's pretty great. That's pretty great. Oh, don't follow me, photos. What's going on there? That's really cool. Look at that. Wow. Aren't these cool? I think I actually have these listed already. I really do. There, I dropped a photo. But I really do recognize these. I recognize most of these. So we'll keep going through them. I have them here, so I might as well show them to you folks. Yeah, this one's really cool. It's like a young lady looking out of the back. I know you can't see it on camera, but you can make out that license plate, and I'm pretty sure you can even track down the car and everything down to where who had it, the whole deal. So rad. So these are up, I think, like I said, Oh, I was looking for this one. This is a great Beat Saber song, by the way. So I think I got these a while back, and this was a single collection. I want to say it was the guy's family. I do hope that these were duplicates. There are times where I do try to contact the family back to see if they want the stuff back. A lot of time they already have it, or like they're estranged and they just don't want it. That's pretty rare, actually. But I did just list a whole mess of slides from one house, and these were all duplicate slides, so like guilt-free. But these were all from a collector's collection, and I don't know. So anyway, so there's that one. I don't think I listed that one yet. So, and I showed you guys this the last one I was on here before, so we have some postcards. Oh, I should show those. So these, they're not that old, I don't think. These are like from the 70s, and they're cool. And people collect them. But I usually throw these kind of not this one. Yeah, probably this one too. The in the booth, or I bulk these out. I have a tendency, I like to spend time with the ones that are a bit older. That's the Bahamas. That's what is this? The world's only corn palace. There you go. I don't know what that's about. Here's another one of them. So there's that. Those are cool. I think these need to be bulked out. That one's really cool, though. I really enjoy this one. What's up, buddy? Yay! Thanks, dude. My son just brought me pizza because he's a badass. So let me put these aside real quick, just so because I'm organizing. So I like this one. To my right here, I have this like 4x8 thing my wife made me. It's super cool. She made it for when we were collecting Skylanders. And we still sell Skylanders. We don't have a ton of inventory right now. But, oh, look at that dog. I didn't see that dog the first time. What a neat photo. So that one's pretty neat. It's called the Wicked Tree. The Witch Tree. There you go. Yeah, these are all pretty great. 1937 on this one. This is the interior of a church in Cuba. Cuba! My wife's rolling her eyes, I bet. Rightly so. Old college. See, this one's not. It's a little damaged. I'll probably throw this in the bulk pile. The banyan tree from Hawaii. Not quite old enough. So this is the governor's mansion. I don't know what governor's mansion, but there is an address on the back. And I wonder if I put in that address. Laclede is a big deal in St. Louis. This might actually be our governor's mansion here in Missouri. And I just don't know. But we might look at that one. But we live so. But that would probably still end up in our booth, probably. Simply because, you know, we sell it to other St. Louisans. That would probably go in the booth. That one we'll take a second look at. That one we'll take a second look at. Take a second look at that one. This, I think, is a replica. Or not a replica. It's a non-split, but I don't think it's old. It doesn't feel right. It feels new. This front is way too glossy. So we'll probably throw that in the booth. The corn fence? Look at that, dude. I wonder if that's still there. We'll have to look that up. So this also feels a little newer, even though it looks older. But we'll probably bulk that out. Seagulls aren't that interesting. This is old, 1906. This is an old one. It's the Congressional Library from 1906. That's cool. Maybe we'll bulk it out with some light stuff. Few varieties of desert cacti, nice linen. Probably bulk this one out. It's maybe, yeah. These are called cabinet cards. They're from the 1890s. So we'll probably, you know what? We'll probably throw those all in one bundle. There's this one. 1955. We will. Oh, I'm on the fence. I'm on the fence. 1955. I decided to look it up. This is a train. This is a railroad one. It does have some age on it. I don't know if it's 1900s or so. Actually, it looks, now that I'm feeling it, it's a novelty. This is probably contemporary. We'll look it up just in case I'm wrong, because I'm wrong every now and then. I know there's about 10,000 people in my life that would love to have that as a recording. I see you people. That's kind of neat. I'll probably bulk this one out with that Congressional Library one. And I thought this was a pretty neat linen here. This last thing here in this first pile is it's like damage of some kind. I like this song. Oh, look at that. Old damage or something. Compton, California. Wild. Polytechnic High School from Long Beach, California is what that says. Look at that. Hope those kids are okay. I mean, I'm sure this was yonks ago, but... Oh, here we go. It says at the hour of 5:55 p.m., March 10th, 1933, a terrific earthquake struck the southern section of Southern California, doing damage to property unofficially estimated at $58 million. And a side note, $58 million in 1933, that's a lot of money. And taking a toll of life of 124 identified dead and hundreds of injured, taxing the capacity of all local hospitals. What a terrible time to laugh, Ashley.
Oh, sorry.
I'm over here. I literally just said the line, 124 identified dead. And you go, ah!
Sorry, team. Sorry.
In all fairness, she's watching a comedian, is what her defense is. I don't believe her. The trembler was one of the most severe ever recorded in the United States. The shock, according to official records, was of a duration of 11 seconds. That's a lot of damage. That's a shitty 11 seconds, man. And in that time, wrought the damage described above. Except for a few fires, which were quickly under control, there was no great damage suffered from that source. So no fire. Jeez, we'll move on. That's pretty wild, though. Look at that. Show cards. What is show cards? That's kind of cool. So I don't necessarily think this thing is from 1933, even though it has the paper kind of matches. Another nice building ruined in the path of the quake. Jeez. It's humbling, isn't it? Oh, look at those sailor uniforms. Long Beach scene. Note the white sheet where one of the dead victim lies. Oh, okay. Live, friends. We're live. Derek used to recover the dead. That's unfortunate. Man, wow. These photographs were taken while the earth was still trembling. Whew, that's where I would be, in the middle of the street where nothing can follow me. Hopefully you can see a telephone pole in time, right? Another nice building ruined in the path. Oh, okay, we're on the other side. We are going to look at the other side. I find this fascinating. I'm what you might call a doomer. Man, that thing is just crushed. Look at that. Wow. Oceanfront apartment house. 3 automobiles buried. That one's upside down. Anyway, so wow. Oh, I missed 2. On the Pike at Long Beach. Look at those ads. I love the lamp. Very, very Art Deco-y. Wow. City Hall. I actually have an image in my store called Mama is Pissed. And it represents Mother Nature. And that has that vibe. So we're going to keep that. So rude to eat on stream, I know, but nobody's in here, so. All right, so that's all we wanted to go through there. We're in piles. I can know what I can do for listing later on. Let's do the other job where we're going to bring up Photoshop. Let me get situated here. All right, so here's the first one that we're going to do. And we're going to do these pretty fast. These are not going to be super complicated. I don't know. So what we do is we scan these in at very, very high res. That way we have a lot of pixels to work with. We might do a little work to that. We might not. I don't know. I have been told by customers and my wife to not overly clean them. And I think they're right. It's probably good for these things to have a little character. But any obvious damage, we don't have to clean up all of that. But, that's a pretty big soiling right there. Let's get rid of it. Let's fix these. So this is an old Schweppes from 1930. This was found. I have a whole huge stack of those old lunch. Not lunch. Punch. I'm hungry. I'm thinking about that pizza I just had. So, and I decided, and there's a lot of ads in there, not worth pulling them, but I don't normally deal with black and white ads because they don't, to be honest, they just don't sell as well. The reason this particular one stuck out to me was this gal here on the left-hand side. I really dig this era of artwork. I love how I hesitate to use this word linear, but they're really long lines they use and everything. Look at this lady. Just a different aspect. And look, anyway. I could go on, but I'll probably end up saying something that can be construed as offensive, and I don't want to be that guy. Because I won't mean it the way it'll be taken, and the internet will get me. So, but it's just interesting. I really like Art Deco, the whole Flapper Girl era, that whole wanton abandonment after World War I. Which then, of course, ultimately led to the Depression, which ultimately led to World War II. Which ultimately led to Israel being formed, which ultimately led to what's happening now. And there's more to it. I'm not going into it. Just the history. It's interesting how one thing leads into the other. like dominoes. There's a Neil deGrasse Tyson reel out there talking about predetermination and free will from a physics standpoint. And the physicist argues that we don't really have what we would term as free will, and everything's predeterministic based on physics alone. Neil took, I can't say he took the opposite position, but he did kind of push back. It was an interesting conversation for sure. And I like it when really smart people argue, because it's like, because they ultimately know it's unknowable. So they like, it's this verbal sparring rather, but it's all in good natured fun. and if anything else, it just gets people thinking and asking questions. So that's much more fun to watch than, you know, like whatever the hell is happening on the Republican debate stage these days. Like, I literally feel my IQ points leaking out of my ears when I watch that stuff. And I do watch it because I like to be informed and I like to hear it from the source. But I would be lying to you if I told you I could watch the whole thing, because I very much cannot. So, but anyway, we're actually probably not going to do too much more on this particular image. Like I said, we're just going to get the big creases out of there. And you can kind of see how high res we scan this in. It's a good song. I haven't heard it in a long time. Ooh, that might be a little loud. Not too loud. Maybe loud enough. We'll leave it at this point. Every now and then there will be sound effects. I like to make this noise a lot. Oh, it's brutal when they go through the letters like this. No! Okay, smaller brush. And I realize that I'm kind of being heavy-handed with the edit. And if you really pixel peeped it, even though I'm at 300% right now, it's not perfect. I really could be in there with selections and stuff. But you can get away with a lot. One, because it's going to be printed smaller, that you can't literally physically, your eyeball cannot make out how it's wrong. You know, unless you have like cyborg eyeballs, which if you do, please hit me up. I'm lurking to be a cyborg later on in life. But so I learned that actually it was funny. I was a wedding photographer. I was stressing out about my lighting at a reception, and one of the guests was an old wedding photographer, and he could tell I was having a moment. It was a really tough lighting situation. It was outside, middle of a field, nothing to bounce light off of. We figured it out, but it took a moment. But he says, relax, man. No reception photo ever is ever printed larger than a wedding album. And you can't make out anything when it's 3.5 by inches. No one will care if it's a little out of focus. And I tell you what, man, that healed my soul. Just able to just let go of all that stress. Couldn't tell you who the guy was. Couldn't tell you what he looked like. Again, it was dark in the middle of a field. It's probably about 10 years ago, too. I drove to Litchfield, Illinois. I don't even think I was the main photographer. I think I was the second. It's all coming back now that I'm thinking about it. Yes, I was the second. I was shooting for a guy named Ryan Gladstone. Neat dude. I thought he did good work. Sure he still does. I think he's still shooting. So now here we have a dilemma. You can actually see the... And I don't know why I didn't notice this before, but you can actually see the reverse ad on the other side. So, and I am sure as all get out, this might not be salvageable, which is kind of a bummer, but I mean, I'll have to sell it as is, and what somebody will do, they'll put it in a frame just kind of as it is, or maybe we'll throw it in a frame and sell it as is, and who knows. But as far as a print goes, this is actually unusable, and I've just wasted all of my time, which is never a great feeling, friends. This is why we check these things first. So, but do you see what I'm saying? I know that was a bit abrupt because I just realized it, but through here, the image is poking through from the back. And it's all through here. I would have to do all of this through here. I don't even know if I have the patience to match this dotted pattern because you'd want to get it close. So this, my friends, is a failure. But again, it's not really a failure. I'm just going to sell it as is. It's a neat ad. Somebody will want it. Hell, I might keep it. I like ginger ale. Ginger beer is probably is one of my favorite things. I guess that's not really ginger ale, but I do drink ginger ale. Like if I had to choose a soda, like when I go to Sam's Club, it's ginger ale 100% of the time. So, but that sucks. Hey, this guy. This is a real fast one here. This is one of my shots. I took this in Cabo San Lucas. I shot a wedding there. I couldn't even tell you how many years ago this was now. It's got to be half a decade by now. But we worked it out to where I could have a day to myself to do some street photography as part of, the overall package. And so I just went with my camera and walked around for like 12 hours. I saw this little dude having a sleep in one of the shops. And so, here we are. I took the photo. I don't think this is the original image that I took. This is probably a copy, but this is the file that I have to work with, unfortunately. Keep track of your data, friends. So we're actually just going to crop this down to a 5x7. And see if it still works as a 5x7. And then this will probably have a future as a postcard. I do think this will probably be fine. Let me see here. As long as you don't check this little box up here in the corner, you can oh, that'll work fine. So, and I don't need to edit this. This is kind of right where I need to be. If I push it any further contrast, I'm going to start blowing out the whites, and I don't want to do that. And it's plenty sharp. I don't want to over sharp it. I just want to leave it as it is. So, what we're going to do here is we're going to say, ooh, there's a cat in my lap. Are you okay, buddy? What's wrong? You all right? You okay? You look freaked out. I got a friend. Oop, you guys was there he is right there. Hey. Where are you going? What? Okay. You want to come hang out? You want to say hi to everybody? Look, I got a kitty. Who's that? There you go. Oh, let's get you the pets. 5-minute kitty break. Are you here for my pizza? This is Tim, I believe. Because Tim is the only cat I have that has the... Oh, where are we going? This may not come as a great shock, but I'm not super happy with... I don't want you to step on the photos. Do you want me to let you out? I guess he's done with me. Anyway, we're almost wrapped up here. We're just going to save this thing out, which is not something you necessarily are excited to see, I'm sure. But that's what we're going to do real quick. Hold on. Stash Collectibles TV. Prints. Doggo. We'll just call it Doggo. 5x7 Doggo. All right, last thing we do need to do, let me bring it back up for you, is we are actually going to pull in our logo. Maybe. Here we go. And we're just going to drop this bad boy as a watermark. Unfortunately, people do like to take things that do not belong to them. So not a whole lot you can do to stop them if they really, really want to, but we don't have to make it easy for them, huh? Sometimes the best way to beat scammers and whatnot is to make it mathematically disadvantageous for them to scam you specifically. Because they'll just go on to someone who's a little bit less on their guard. You know what I mean? A lot of you know what I mean. The trick is just to not be the target, you know, in the absence of actual justice. But sometimes you can only do what you can do. So you do what you can do. So I think that's probably plenty. Because that last watermark was enough to stop me on that other image. But that's all we're going to do today. I'm going to save this out. This was we sorted the photos and we edited the 2 photos kind of. And that was the goal. So appreciate you.